determination to conquer all my ambitions. Despite all the conditions, in light of my past decisions, made it to this position, and so my disposition, not seeing no limits, killing the competition. Yeah, I'm a beast, now I'm unleashed, ready to feast, calm and peace, not the least.
Yeah, that's when he was happy and joyful.
What
Now
is
he's
going
a
on,
dick.
people?
He's a dick now.
Oh, wow. This is how we're starting off next podcast, people.
This is how it is right here.
As he said that, his gameplay comes on, being the winner of last week and whatnot. Oh, my goodness. What is going on, people? It's Saturday night, and next podcast is live. Guys, we have an awesome show set up for you tonight. We have somebody on the panel that hasn't been around for a while because, you know, off doing that whole work thing. Yeah. I will go into the intros. We will get into the topic. So let me first introduce the first lady of the next podcast. Oh, snaps!
Hi, everybody. Happy Saturday and stuff. I'm here to talk about some fun gaming things and harass Xbot. So I'm actually here because he's talking about Destiny. So we're going to put a stop to this today. So looking forward to a great show. Glad to be back with the next fam.
Why do you got to be a hater of Destiny? Like, I don't understand this.
Don't talk.
There is a lot of gamers out there having fun right now with that game. I think we need to talk about our
thoughts. Let's ask the chat. There's 35 people watching. Do you guys want to hear about Destiny? Press 1 for no. Press 2 for no. Press 3 or any other number for no.
So you're saying this is not next podcast. It's basically a Destiny AAA meeting.
No. We have a lot of...
This is intervention.
Yeah.
We have a lot of other stuff to talk about. You know, when it comes to like social media, and the gaming community moving into the future, because everything that's happened this generation, we have, you know,
look at Fred in the chat. He put every freaking number.
Look at Vogel, man. He's doing every number in the book. I'm waiting to see pi like 3.14 or whatever. But
awesome.
It is awesome to have you on. You got the chat going like crazy already in record time, and I can't wait to see how you make fun of me throughout the show.
Gracias.
Nice.
I'll be here all night.
And next is the only otter that's been hit with gamma radiation. That is right, people. You do not make this otter angry. Dark Optimus!
What is up, everyone? I'm so hyped to be here tonight, man. The topics are going to be fire, you know. And then of course, you know, we got the queen of the next podcast on, and it's an honor to have her on here tonight. So, you know, we'll be doing some talking about some games and some other stuff too. And then, you know, we got that lame Mega over there too.
Lame Mega
doing that otter noises and shit. So but yeah, man, I'm glad to be here tonight.
You know, oh snaps, he's saying what an honor it is right now until we get halfway through the show, and he's gonna be like, I can't believe she said that about me.
That's true. It's true. I mean, it's bound to happen, but we'll see.
Yeah.
All right, let's go down the list here. Next on the list is that gaming news assassin. You guys might have seen they have a new teaser trailer out for his own personal movie. I am talking about Predator.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy Mother's Day to all the ladies out there that thought they were just gonna go watch a movie and eat pizza. Shit. We got some topics today for you guys. We're gonna skip that first one. They want to talk about, but ready to go.
See, I already know that. I know me and Optimus, we both played the expansion, so we're probably gonna be having that conversation between us too. I mean, and it's okay. I mean, it's something we got to talk about. I'm sorry, it is on the topics list, and we are gonna go through.
It doesn't need to be.
It is. It's there. I'm not deleting.
But it's there.
We can fix it.
All right. Well, let's go next on the list. Who has a new super fan in the YouTube podcasting community? Yes, I am talking about this man is highly endorsed by Crap Gamer. It is time to stand up, show that respect, kiss that ring. the Don.
Hey guys, what's up? This is another next, and are we almost to 100 now?
Yeah, we're getting close, man.
We're
8
getting
more.
damn close.
8 more after this, and I think we have a couple special things for the 100th episode, which we will.
A free car for one person.
When you say special things, I get a little scared.
I have something. I'm brainstorming, and I hope.
A new car.
Oh no. Guys, I am in for it today. This is going to be the one episode that's going to make or break Xbot. I swear, yeah.
It's going to break you, dude.
Well, next on the list, coming live from the 405. And guys, he thinks he is the gameplay king on next podcast. I don't know why everybody keeps voting for him. I am talking K Mega.
Oh, all my subjects bow and pay homage to the new game king. Once again, as you see, ladies and gentlemen, I have provided the gameplay everybody is looking for.
Well, this is from last week, man,
as we can go back last week, this was last week's, and again, what I'm saying, this was not even the Kabuya blast, and you know what? Bot gave a valiant effort, but he lost. And thank you so much, next podcast listeners, because you know what I'm saying, without you, there's no us. And happy Mother's Day. To all the mothers out there, to all the beautiful women out there, and you know what I'm saying, they got confused when they just said, "I'll just put the head in." That's it. So,
what?
No, just let it roll.
Y'all never heard that expression when a guy was trying to get in, trying to get.
I thought this was a PG show.
Yeah.
It's
go.
It's over. It's over.
Have you been drinking earlier today?
No, man. I had a long damn day at work, and I'm ready to let it all out.
It's gonna be like GRG again, all over again. I have Vietnam flashbacks from that.
I'm drinking water, man. I'm not drinking anything. I'm just
I need
tired
some water. I'll be right back.
Man, anyway.
Wow.
So yeah, thank you guys for hanging out with us, man. Just another great show. We near 100. Cannot believe I'm still on the show. I think Bot maybe tried to sabotage me a long time ago, but but no, I'm still here, man. So anyway, thanks. Let's get this party started, man. I'm happy.
Well, guess what, guys? This what we're gonna get into now is actually, it's not on the list, but man, Bethesda and the official Rage Twitter has been going kind of crazy lately, and Snap showed me a tweet from Bethesda that actually it dropped on Twitter exactly noon, and it shows a guy with a gnarly grill. And on his teeth, it has what I think it was 5/17,
5/14, 2 days.
5/14. All right, so basically that's a date for I would believe an announcement. You guys know when it comes to Walmart, there was a leak out with names for games and stuff, and one of them was Rage 2. Bethesda didn't go out there and say, hell no, that's not. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. But they started playing around on Twitter like, oh no, you got the font wrong and everything like that. So I look at this tweet from Bethesda, and I'm gonna go out on a limb, I guess, and say it's all but confirmed. So I don't know, Dark Optimus, what do you think? Rage 2, do you think it's coming out this year? And are you excited for this, man?
Dude, if this game comes out this year, I'm gonna go on hiatus again for a while.
You're gonna build another
because I'm gonna build a second.
You've used up all your personal time, sir.
Yeah, that's true. No more paid vacations, man.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. But yeah, I mean, dude, this game is gonna. Oh man, I can't wait. I loved the first one. I thought the first one was fantastic. There was just certain things here and there that they could build upon and make it better. But I mean, for the most part, the game was pretty solid. It had a pretty solid campaign. The ending was kind of weak, and if it is Rage 2, oh man, I am so in for it. And if it comes out this year, it's gonna be really hard to see what else comes out. If I don't know, it's gonna be hard. I'm gonna probably be broke for a couple of weeks or whatever.
He's just gonna be broke. Let's just put it out there. He's gonna be broke. He lives in Igloo, Southern California. He's gonna be broke.
I don't pay for electricity in my igloo, so it's fine.
Well, dude, for people who haven't gotten into Rage on the previous generation or whatnot, try to sell them on the concept of this game, because I played it for a little while. I didn't really get into it. Like, why should we be excited for a sequel? What's it about? Man?
It's pretty much Mad Max on steroids.
I've never played Rage, so I'm like, I have no idea what this is.
It's very similar to the Mad Max movies and stuff, like where it's post-apocalyptic. You have these gangs that you kind of like see in the world, and you know, it's a first-person shooter, so it's kind of, you know, they kind of build upon it with their like almost kind of like Fallout in a way, but it's more.
It reminded me a little like Borderlands in terms.
Borderlands mixed
but it's
with
serious. It's way
Mad
more
Max,
serious than Borderlands.
Like, yeah, it's more Mad Max in terms. I don't know if you ever seen that movie. What's it called? It's another post-apocalyptic movie, and
that's where you got me. Post-apocalyptic.
It's kind of like gosh, I can't remember what it's called, but I'll find it.
That movie with that guy
that did that. No, it's not that one time.
Yeah. It's a chick. It's a chick in the movie.
Oh, the movie with that chick and that guy and that murder.
Well, where that chick did that thing.
It's all kind of like, you know, this like Mad Max world where you're living. Thanks, Mega. I appreciate it, man. That's the third time tonight. You know,
in like 10 minutes. In like 10 minutes.
Within 10 minutes. We haven't even gotten through half the podcast, and people are already, you know, you're already making me angry. Thanks, guys.
You know what? People are going to start requesting that through the super chat.
Yeah.
Hear the angry otter.
Yeah, hear the angry otter.
But yeah, I mean, it's mostly just like, it's kind of like there's certain points in the game where it feels like there's just like zombies, but they're like humans that turn.
All right, so we got post-apocalyptic. We have gangs.
Yeah.
We have doing stuff for gangs. We have zombies that aren't zombies. Oh, guess what, dude? You had your chance. You have not sold me on this, so I'm gonna move on to the next person.
I can't sell you on a game I haven't played
multiplayer,
in like
then
years,
I can be
dude.
sold.
There wasn't any multiplayer in the original, but
they better kick it up a notch.
I don't know. It's Bethesda. They don't usually like doing multiplayer.
Yeah, they're not.
Hey, they put it in Doom though with like deathmatch and stuff like that. So, but Mega, you are the man who loves to play everything mostly on PC. From what I see from your gameplay.
Stop it.
I am not being messy right now.
You see Xbox buttons being pushed. Stop it. Anyway.
So what did you play the first Rage? And you know, I mean, it's all but confirmed Rage 2. Do you think it's coming out this year? And are you excited, man? 3 questions.
Yeah, okay. First one, I bought it twice. Only played to the second level every time that I had
lost interest, right?
Yeah, well, just got, you know, I can tell you this.
That's what happened with me. I just lost interest.
Well, K-Mega's really honestly got a real problem where he starts something and he always leaves to something else.
Yeah, always. But you know, unless it's Forza. You know what I'm saying? Unless it's Forza, I'm always on it.
Check this out, Mega.
You mean Forza?
Guys, before we go forward, I gotta give a shout out to Lady Foxfire in the chat, hitting up that super chat. She's saying, shout out to Mel for putting up with us. All right, that's what.
Thank you, Foxy.
Oh my goodness! Yes.
Like, damn,
the ladies do hold us down on our podcast. That's the truth.
They hold us down in real life. I don't know what you're talking about.
Dude, I am tied down right now. By the way, like I can't move. So
anyway, Noah Mill has got like some. No, don't let me do that.
No,
Fred started too. Fred gonna jump in and it's gonna turn into Next After Dark.
Oh
anyway, I had it. I bought it twice, and like I said, I only got to the second level. It was something about the game that I lost interest in. It was, I don't know what it was. Maybe because graphically it just didn't look as good as what I was picturing on the 360. I've heard a lot of great things about it on the PC. I might go ahead and I might cop it on the PC because I don't. What's so fun?
Ouch.
We got another super chat shout out. Yo, shout out
Oh,
to the
yes.
sponsor, Brian Baker. He sponsored
Nice.
this show, this
That's
channel.
hilarious.
And he said, shout out to us guys for dealing with snaps.
I can agree with that. I can co-sign that.
You know what? Sad face, Blades. Sad face. Thank you, guys. You guys are amazing.
Yeah, man. But yeah, no, I'll be excited. If the game has multiplayer, I'll be ultimately excited. I just need to know more. It does have a Borderlands feel to it. I will say this though, the beginning of the game for the 2 levels that I played, it was very intense. You know, you come in, you go into this little town, and then you go into town, and then it just start getting raw. You got these guys that looks like something
loose,
from
man.
yeah, shit just breaks loose, and they look like the crazy dudes in Borderlands that come after you. So it's pretty cool, man. I need to play it to be more, and I do think. I think maybe people may have forgot that Bethesda was one of the companies that started this, what Xbox was trying to do, not show their games too early. And so I think this game could have the potential to come out this year.
Yeah, that's what I think too, because they did that with Fallout, which is one of their big titles. That's where they make a lot of their money and stuff like that. I believe they did it with Doom as well.
Doom and Wolfenstein. Well, no, Doom came the following year, but Wolfenstein came the same year. So
the movie, by the way, was Doomsday.
Yeah,
Doomsday?
We didn't watch it.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
take a look at that movie. It's pretty sick. It's pretty good.
So.
All right,
I'm excited about it. I mean, I'll be excited about it.
Dude,
I'm
excited
buy it
about
right now.
just about every game, man.
I'm finna buy it right now. Let me go ahead and go to PC.
It's like $8 on Steam right now.
Real quick, what is the gameplay that's up right now? Great Skull Zero asked in the chat.
Oh, the game.
It's that Gears of War knockoff.
Well, first off, this is the winning gameplay from K-Mega from last week. So, guys, we're not going to be able to vote on it for this week. We had a little run.
You're going to vote for Mel.
You didn't even submit gameplay.
Whoa, see, Blackwater. Why does Mel hate me? I don't hate you. You're awesome. Why would you say that?
K-Mega, what is this game again, man?
Binary Domain. Somebody asked in the chat?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Binary Domain. Yeah,
right,
it's
Binary Domain.
It's a 360 game. Hopefully, this game will come on back compat. This is the reason why I go back sometimes and bring these games that hasn't been on back compat, so that people might be interested to see them. They might want to get in those forums and ask for them or vote for them. So we can.
There's a rich history back there, right? I think there's a lot of stuff people missed last gen.
Yeah. I mean, this was one of them. This was a great game. So
I actually downloaded this because your gameplay.
Look at that! See, that's
wow.
I haven't played it yet.
King of gameplay. Yes, and more to come, ladies and gentlemen.
All right,
Fred, I lost all respect for you right now. So
I want to give a shout out. I want to give a shout out to Peter Young in the chat, who says that Rage suffered from being an old school ID game. In his opinion, it was boring, good combat, and a great engine tech. And dude, Peter, I gotta say, like, with what I played from it last gen, that's exactly what I felt like in terms of playing the first one. Now, you know, with sequels, they always come in and they always, you know, do things to try to make it better. If we know anything from, you know, new IPs, the first one doesn't really do that great. It's usually the sequel that will really build up hype and build the franchise. So that's one of the reasons why I'm excited to see what this sequel to Rage has in store. Let's ask the Don. Don, what do you think about this, man? Are you excited for a sequel to Rage?
I am. You know why?
Why?
Because of Doom. What they did with Doom, like, it was kind of a game that wasn't doing so well previous releases, and they came back, and then Doom was just absolutely phenomenal. And now that those guys are working on Rage, I think it's just. I'm excited. I think this game has potential when it's being released. Ironically, I think it's going to be released around the same time as the other game that was very similar to it back in the day, with the cell shading from Gearbox. But
Borderlands?
Borderlands, yeah, it's very similar to Borderlands. But I think at this point, I think people kind of understand what the game is a little bit more, and it can stand on its own. And yeah, I just like what they did with Doom, and kind of excited what they'll do with something like Rage in the grand scheme of things.
Nice. I mean, it's all but confirmed. Like I said, Bethesda was going back and forth with Walmart, kind of teasing them about what they put out there in terms of names of games and stuff. So, Predator, man, what do you think about this? Is this something that you're looking forward to seeing, and how they're gonna evolve, like from the first Rage into the sequel?
I didn't play the first one, but I kind of agree with Don when he said, what they did with Doom may
Pred,
actually...
your gameplay right here when you're like, this is not my ship. This was hilarious, dude.
Yeah, you have to watch this shit. This should get your vote right here. But yeah, I didn't play Rage, so I don't really know much about the game. But what Don was saying, like how well they did with Doom and what they did with that game, it actually has me excited about what they're gonna do with this with Rage 2. I mean, but I just don't like if they come out with it this year at the end of the year around the time frame of some of these other games coming out. I think it's gonna get swallowed up a little bit. But it may be something I pick up at a later date.
I got you, man. I mean, at the end of the day, when you're looking at like a quality development team like Bethesda, and they're messing around talking about, kind of like the first sequel to a game that they brought out last generation. I mean, that's going to get gamers excited. Oh snaps! Did you get a chance to look in on Rage at all? What do you think about like these kind of teasing on social media going back and forth with this right now?
I mean, teasing is smart because it's the talk of the internet, and I didn't even notice any of this was happening. It's like a couple days in the making. But I don't know anything about Rage, but do you think that they're going to bring it backwards compatible possibly? Like, is that something so we can kind of check it out? Because I'm looking excuse me, at images of it on the internet, and it looks pretty interesting. I've never played Rage, never even cared to look it up.
It used a tech called Tile Resources back in the day, and so
I've heard of that before.
It's actually a hardware feature built into your Xbox. But Tile Resources is a way to basically stream in textures, and you basically can fit a lot more texture data in a smaller bit of RAM. Is the general idea. So there's a reason why that game kind of aged pretty decently for back in the day, is because of that whole tile resource and everything, in which it can be done on any hardware if you want to put the time into it. So if they're going to use newer technology and use basically the 8 gigabytes of RAM on the base consoles with tile resources versus what 512 what it was, and
512 megabytes. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, like it's a big deal. So we'll see if they utilize that tech to that same degree or not. But it looks good. Mel, it's one of those single player games. Like if I was going to pick something out for Mel, that I probably would have picked out.
Now you know about her. I was going to say, you know about her in single player, right?
Yeah, exactly. I know the challenge.
The hate
right?
is real.
I know. I understand the challenge, but I think it's the type of world that Mel would just be super excited. So,
Brian Baker said that Rage is already back compat. Now I thought I saw it in a
yeah,
picture.
someone else said that too.
So, I mean, you already have that going for you. It would be awesome for the Xbox like version if they just, for people who don't have it or didn't pick it up when it went back compat, just kind of throw Rage in there with Rage 2.
Maybe they'll throw it on games with gold.
That could be. That's a great way to, in my opinion, that's a great way to market a sequel as well. Is to put the original on games with gold, before the sequel drops. So that could be as well.
I am looking into this now, guys. I'm looking into it now. See what I can do. I'll stream it. And have bad dreams. That's what I do.
Zombie clowns all day.
That turned into.
We don't have to deal with it.
Yeah, she had zombie clowns that turned into Trump on her dream.
And then it turns out it was just a game developer for State of Decay 2. It's a very long story, but anyways, he blew the little, those little horns that you blow into for birthday parties, like not the horns, they just unroll
the ones that roll out, like
yeah.
Okay.
Like he blew that. He was like, well, we had to put zombies on there because we didn't want cobwebs. I was just wish I could explain my dreams.
You should start a YouTube channel just describing your dreams.
I know there's some pretty crazy stuff, but yeah, I'm looking into this game to see how much it is for back compat. And I'll check it out because someone said it's like Doom and Gears of War and a bunch of stuff rolled into one. So it's pretty interesting.
With the post-apocalyptic environment. So
it is backwards compat?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
Oh.
I trust our supporters, man. They say a game's backwards compatible. I'm gonna roll with that. I think it is too. I saw it in a picture.
I'm not seeing it though, you guys.
Brian Baker said $14.99, and then Daz said $9.99. But he might be talking fake money, which they use over in Europe.
Fake money?
Oh, shit.
I got 50 euros.
What?
I got 50 euros from work.
How'd you get 50 euros? Oh,
I don't know.
Wait,
don't ask, don't tell.
Is that a type of food?
That's a gyro. That's a gyro.
That's a gyro.
Gyro. Damn it. You know what?
Hero.
Welcome to the Cooking with Next podcast.
Gyro.
It's not gyro, dude.
It is a gyro.
That's not gyro.
All right.
Gyro.
On that note, I just
Gyro.
I'll be back.
You country fuck.
Oh, you're so done.
Oh my God.
Who said they'll be back? Because we're gonna talk Destiny now.
That's why I'm
Everybody.
later.
Guys, unless you've been living under a rock, man, Destiny came out with the second expansion for Destiny 2.
Bye.
Called Warmind. No, you hang around, lady. But it's called the Warmind expansion. It has to deal with a weapon that was put up on Mars. It's a artificial intelligence with a lot of kind of like weaponry and stuff like that it can control in order to defend humanity. The name of this AI is called Rasputin, and for people who know Destiny lore, you know Rasputin doesn't have a really good relationship with the Vanguard and stuff like that. So it came out Tuesday, 2 p.m. my time, and I went through, I beat the story, I've gotten a taste of the public events on Mars. When it comes to the strikes, there's really nothing new except the difficulty level. I'm playing the strikes, and they're a lot harder in my opinion. And the new raid leader actually came out Friday. Now I know the Angry Otter himself, Dark Optimus, has Destiny 2. Did you pick up the Warmind expansion?
Dude, I told you last week, and I've told you many times before, I have the expansion because I have the $100 version of the game.
Oh, yeah. Well, I figured somebody might have swindled you, $100 just for a core. Yeah.
No.
We are getting trolled right now, man.
Well, that was the thing. I was excited for this game in the beginning, so I wanted the DLC for it, and that's what I wanted to get.
So with this expansion, Curse of Osiris, it left fans really wanting more.
Bad taste in
yeah. So what do you think with the Warmind expansion? Did they make up for a lot of kind of like the miscues from the first expansion? What do you think about this one story-wise going into endgame stuff as well?
Well, that's the thing. I think they added a little bit more story. That's always cool. That's always fun. They didn't really do much with the strikes and stuff. They added a couple more maps to the Crucible, which is cool. I think really what it was is what they tweaked for the update, because everybody gets the update.
Yeah.
That's what really I think brought a lot of people back. I don't really think the DLC was this thing that really brought people back. I think people seeing what people were talking about with the update, I think that's what really, drew people in, and we were like, oh, I got to get back on this and play and grind it out and stuff. I already, got some of the new DLC stuff, like the Warlock chess piece that they announced.
Oh yeah,
stuff.
you're a Warlock main, right, man?
Yeah, I'm usually Warlock or Hunter. Sometimes I go Hunter, but it just depends on how I feel.
Hunter's the place to be. That's all I gotta say.
Well, yeah, hunters are great, but they're just they're easier to kill, which in my opinion, that's what I feel. You can kill a hunter more, but
so
yeah,
what are you thinking?
there was
it?
I'm liking it. I like the new the new DLC. I like what they've tweaked with the Crucible. Because before the Crucible wasn't really like, it didn't feel tight. Like the controls in the Crucible just felt kind of wonky a little bit here and there. But from what they've tweaked and what they've updated, it's been fantastic.
I don't care.
Oh no!
It's brought me back. It's brought me back to Destiny.
Who did that? Because
you're fired.
I think it was Pred.
It was Pred. It was totally Pred.
No.
Also, Brian Baker said this talk better not be more than 5 goddamn minutes.
Well, if we keep getting interrupted, it's going to be longer. Damn it, Trump. But no, I gotta say, because you said the tweaks to the exotics, the enhancements to the exotics, even when it comes to Crucible, they have 2 different rankings now, kind of getting people in there to play it more often. When it comes to that is an update that everybody got across the board, whether or not you got the expansion. So I guess, you're talking about the update a lot. In your opinion, do you think the expansion is worth people going out and throwing their $20 on and purchasing then?
Not from the content that
blasphemy
that they gave. They gave what, 2 hours of a campaign, and then they gave a few strikes.
Within those 2 hours,
and then they gave us a couple of maps. It's not worth the $20. The free update is worth definitely going back to, but maybe the campaign a little bit, because the campaign is kind of it's kind of interesting, especially if you're into the Destiny lore and you like that that type of lore or whatever. It's definitely worth the 2 hours, but I don't think the $20 really justifies what they gave you. I would wait for maybe a sale, maybe like when it's like $bucks or something like that.
So you're saying you don't have to deal when everyone else is doing
it? Exactly. Yeah, you don't. Yeah, you honestly don't. Because
there's a misconception there. Like, you have to do what everyone else is doing, otherwise you're missing out. Well, yeah, if you're playing with a particular friend, but not necessarily. You know what I mean?
Right.
I see. When it comes to the story, I got to say, like, is it short? That is my biggest gripe with it, is that it is short.
Yeah.
But within that, there was two kind of like moments that were so epic, like jaw dropping, in what you had to fight. I felt that it was worth it after that. You take that into account with the new raid layer, the new exotics that you're getting and stuff like that. I'm thinking $20 is kind of worth it, man. You don't think so with all that put together? Yeah. And what do you know what the moments I'm talking about, man?
I do know what you're talking about, but I don't think it's enough to have somebody pay $20 to come back and just do that DLC, especially with the update and the tweaks that they've made. It's just, it's not enough, man. And I know there is another DLC coming in September. I mean, who knows? It might be a Taken
King.
But
that's not covered. That's not covered by the expansion pass either. We're done.
Right,
now.
It's not covered by that, but I mean, that might actually be worth your time at that point to get this DLC. And then, of course, the DLC will probably be cheaper at that point too.
Nice. As we're talking about this, you see the epic, the legendary
Saint
14 at his final resting place. That is a big thing for Destiny fans out there. And that was actually in the Curse of the Osiris DLC.
Yep.
I don't know. I feel it's worth it. Anybody else on the panel, if you want to chime in about this on whether or not, you guys think Warmind DLC is worth it.
I got something to say.
Yeah, what's up?
We eat McDonald's until we come to an agreement.
That is all.
I am starting to know how OSNAP feels on CNC.
That's say one thing about it. I just want to say one thing about this.
Ahead,
I started playing the story, the campaign. Been on for about maybe 6 hours now, and I'm very highly frustrated because I want to.
Are you playing with people?
No, I'm playing by myself. But the problem
is the problem.
No. Listen, I'm trying to get through it. Right. I'm at the point to where I'm about to get the third personal incident, right? But I keep getting sent off to where there's other people fighting. And then after we do a fight together or whatever, then I'm like, okay, let me get back into the story, and I get completely lost. I don't know where the hell I'm going after that.
That is not the game for you. I know what you're talking about, King Mega.
Yeah,
and you know, like you have a hard time, like when you're gaming late at night, and you're like, well, I'm going to play this, I'm going to play that, and you never get anything done. Yeah. Like that's how this game is kind of wired. And you
have to be focused on what you're doing and go through the public events. And
you really can't play this game, King Mega, without somebody. Otherwise, you're going to be all over the place. And
definitely all over the place. I'm trying to get back into the damn story, but I've done like every mission. Or every little those little special missions, those things are like on the other two planets, and I'm like, I feel like I'm really progress here.
Those are really just for you to just kind of like. It's basically just to have filler for the story because the story isn't that long. It's only like maybe like 12 hours long. So if you do the adventures, it usually progresses the story a little bit longer.
There to distract you on purpose.
Dude, honestly, those are really for you to just jump in with a buddy and end game and just play with your friend or whatever.
As your life coach, you can't play that game by yourself anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'm a level 20. I'm a level 22 though.
Well, that's good, man.
I'm a 200. I mean, is it 200? Yeah, I'm a level 200. So.
Level 200, nice.
But
there's one thing I want to say though. Spoonman said in the chat, $20. State of Decay is only like $10 more. So like, that's take that with however you feel like it.
Yeah, but it's also not standalone. So people who are spending the $20.
But that's the thing. You get a full game for $10 more, and you're paying $20 for an expansion that doesn't really give you much.
I said that wrong. I think I'm a level 20, but I'm confused now. I'm a level.
Gaming as your life coach. Gaming as your life coach. Don't do your own taxes either.
Don, please don't ever be a life coach.
I don't know. The game just confuses the hell out of me, man. I'm just trying to beat the story so I can go ahead and do all these raids and everything that people say is so great. Wow. And I'm like,
Mega. Me and Don will get on and we'll run you through the story and you won't even have to worry about it.
Oh yeah.
Don, you're gonna get on?
To help out K Mega, I'll help out my brother. Not a problem.
Time out, guys. Speaking of Destiny or whatever else we're speaking about,
awesome
life coaches and shit.
Right now.
Guys, let's get some more thumbs up. There's 66 people watching with 34 thumbs up. What is that? I want to see 45 in like 10 minutes from now. Do you understand, please? Wow. Thank you.
Hit that like button. Hit that like button.
She's giving you guys a lot more time.
Hit the like button. Vote for K Mega.
I like that. I like that.
Vote for Mega ever again.
But you can't vote for Mega because he that was gameplay from last week.
Just save your vote.
I'm not afraid. Put his name up there. I'm not afraid to do
it. Doesn't matter. His gameplay's gonna come up. They're gonna vote for him anyways because I see Destiny on the screen and nobody's voting for that.
No.
Also, Brian Baker said, change topic, please.
We will. So
we will.
Help me out with Destiny, man. Help me out with Destiny.
Unless anybody else has anything to say about that, I will go off on
I love Destiny.
My thoughts and impressions. I'll probably go live during this next week, and I'll let people know who want to hear about this game and this expansion. But let's move on to, I don't know, you guys want to talk about E3 for a little bit?
You didn't ask me what I thought about Destiny.
That's because we don't
care.
Love
Destiny.
I mean, what?
Well, guys,
you know what? Listen, lady, we're gonna fight, okay? Yeah. Anyways, carry on, bot. I don't want to give you my thoughts. You don't deserve them now.
When it comes to E3, now we've been like speculating. I know, talking in party chats and stuff like that about what we might see coming from Xbox, and that seems to be the thing. Everybody's saying that Xbox needs to have this or they need to have that. Now, while all this was going on, Sony comes out and announces pretty much what they're doing for their show, kind of letting the cat out the bag, showing their cards to at least some degree here. Now, they said they're going to be talking about 4 games in depth, which is The Last of Us 2, Spider-Man, what's that Tsushima?
Ghost of Tsushima.
Ghost of Tsushima, which I'm really interested in. And what was the last game? I forget.
Days Gone.
Was it Days? I don't think it was Days Gone. No. Death Stranding. All right.
Yes, Death Stranding. Yeah.
Death Stranding.
You're
So
right.
those 4 games they are going to go in depth with, and a lot of people are out there on Twitter like, oh, all they're going to do is show 4 games and stuff like that. And I want to use this show to kind of let people know. They said that they're going to focus on those 4 games, but they also said there is going to be plenty of other games to see in terms of third party and basically indie developers as well. Talking about platforms going from the PS4 to the PlayStation VR and whatnot. So to me, it sounds like they have a full-fledged show planned. I mean, the last couple of years they've gotten off the stage early or whatnot. But let me go to K Mega real quick. K Mega, do you think it's a good idea for them to come out and say exactly the 4 games that they're going to show in depth? And how do you feel about that? Do you think they're going to have a full-fledged kind of like E3 conference that we're used to, man?
I think their conference will be pretty much like it has been for the last couple of years, basically kind of short. Anything that PlayStation does right now is pretty much gold to the media, to a lot of gamers out there. So to me, I look at it as 2 things: is arrogance and and confidence. I mean, it's just those 2 things. They're just saying, hey, look, we don't have to present anything that you haven't seen before because we're Sony right now. We're doing everything that we want to do. So it's like, it's startling because it kind of takes away the excitement of what E3 is all about, to get surprised, because I know that they'll have some third-party deals being showed as well. But to me, it's for a lot of fans that enjoy their exclusives, you would think that they would want to show maybe a something brand new at E3, at the Mecca, you know what I'm saying? Not at the PlayStation show in December, or the Tokyo show. I don't know. Like I said, it's arrogant, but I mean, it just is spewing confidence. And so
we gotta pause the show for a moment, K Mega. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Z Black Rider just became a sponsor, Xbot.
Our newest sponsor, Z Black Rider.
Nice. Yeah, welcome, brother. Welcome.
I was waiting for
sometimes you just gotta cut K Mega off.
I like that.
Just vote for him and he'll be happier. Okay.
Can you be here every Saturday, Mel? That would be perfect.
I wish I could. I really do. I said yep, but I didn't mean it.
Wow.
It's like she's the cat herder.
Hey, Z Black Rider, since you are a sponsor, look at the emojis on the chat. You will see that you have a very special line of emojis that only the sponsors can use. So definitely take advantage of that. I personally like the flashing gremlin. I think that is a great emoji. So
there's actually been a request for the Dawn emoji.
Really?
Yeah, so I just figured I would let you know.
I'm gonna find a picture of Don Matrick and I'm just gonna put the Don under it, and that'll be the emoji.
Please have one
Blades will like his
otter,
tender emoji.
too.
Tender, yes, that is the next on the list when they open up. I have that waiting.
Once he gets 10 sponsors, he can do more of them. But guys, we need one more thumbs up to get to 45 within 10 minutes. So let's go. Somebody, please, soliciting.
Look at Jazzy with the gremlin.
I think we need an otter emoji. Just saying. I think there should be a
dirty otter.
I want to get an emoji for everybody on the panel. Okay.
You got to get Willie either something beautiful like a crown for me, or
oh god,
or a Care Bear with an A on its belly.
Give me an A button. A button with a crown. That'd be great. An A button with a crown.
Well, anything you can take a crown and do all that crap. You need to stop voting for his ass.
You know what? I try to do my emoji thing for my people, and I messed up, and because I was doing Livewire because everybody likes the dolphin, and so so there's a dolphin there, but it looks hideous. So anyway.
Well, K-Mega, I want to get kind of back on topic here. We're talking about what Sony's presenting here now. When you first look at it, Superman. When you first look at it, it looks like something different, but. Like, I started to think about what people kind of like expect to see from E3 conferences, and do you really think it's that different? If they come in and at the end of the show, they show like a quick sneak peek or a title screen for a game like coming up in the future. To me, that sounds pretty much like a standard conference, man. Do you really think that what Sony is talking about here is really that much of a different conference than what we're kind of like used to?
No, I don't think it will be. Maybe they're trying to get people, confused a little bit and try to put some more attention to them because there's so much attention to the Xbox conference. So they're probably wanting to put some attention to them, and it'll probably just be a regular conference, and they'll probably have a surprise or two to show at the end. Because I just don't see as good as Sony has been this generation with the PR and all of that, to just come out and be, like, I'll just show you 4 games and you're gonna like it. You see what I'm saying? So no, I think
a Jedi mind trick. You will love these 4 games.
Yeah, I think they're pulling strings, but I think that they're over here just having a rabbit in the hat type of situation. Man.
Now, Mega, just one more thing before I move on to the rest of the panel here. Out of those 4 games, are you interested in really seeing in depth on any of these?
I know the trailer for the Last of Us was really dope. Like you know what I'm saying. I'm too bad I'm not the biggest fan of the original game, but that trailer had me like stoked. Like, damn, did you see that chick's arms? Did you see what's going on here? That was a really dope.
She was Diesel.
She was rock cold hard Diesel, boy. I was like, damn. But that was dope. I am kind of interested into the Samurai game. That's up my alley. That's kind of looked like it might be somewhere in the Onimusha, however you want to pronounce it. Type of world. So I'll be interested in that. Onimusha, whatever. All right,
gosh, man, so country, dude.
Onimusha. Yeah.
He said so country, dude.
That was so nasty acting. You know, country.
All right.
He threw his hand up and shit when he did that.
All right, let's move on to Pred. Pred has actually been quiet tonight, man. I don't know what's going on here. Pred, what do you think about what Sony is talking about, saying that they're going to go in depth on these 4 games? And I wanted to put it out there that they were also talking that they are going to have other games, third-party indie developers, stuff like that. Does this sound like a traditional conference to you? And is there anything here you're excited about, man?
Not really. I mean, like, most of the stuff we've already seen before, so it's not really a big deal to me. We're just going to see more of it. So not really excited about their E3 conference right now from what I've seen so far. Like Mega said, they're definitely gonna have some third-party stuff on stage, probably an orchestra. I mean, it's standard Sony stuff. I think maybe that's their plan right now, but they typically kind of change up the day after Microsoft goes.
Another great point right there, man.
So they may end up, like right now they have their plan in place, but they probably have another, like a second plan or a third plan or something like that in case Microsoft just blows the fucking rocks off at their show. So it's a wait and see. I mean, we always have these expectations at E3 and these guesses and stuff like that we're gonna see when the show pops up, but I think they're gonna have a little bit more to show after they see Microsoft's show. They'll throw something together just to kind of give us, another wow factor, just to kind of get people hyped up. Probably throw Shenmue in there or something like that. So something that's to pull the heartstrings of the fans out there if Microsoft's show is actually like super good.
I got you. See, when it comes to these 4 games, now, all right, let me break this down. Spider-Man. I know we've seen gameplay of Spider-Man, but I think what they're going to do is they're going to go in depth and show people what's around that isn't a part of the main story, like dealing with other enemies, in the city of New York, other like classic Spider-Man enemies that are doing things out there, and kind of getting them out there to be able to fight them. I think they're going to show that. Death Stranding, I'm actually really interested to actually see what the hell this game is, man. And I got to see gameplay of this. For me to be satisfied with them going in depth on Death Stranding. I want to see exactly what the hell this game is. And as far as the other ones, of course, I'm a gamer at heart, so I want to see what they're doing with these. There's games that weren't really on my radar, but as soon as they went in depth and they showed gameplay and stuff like that, all of a sudden I jumped on board with what they were showing. Case in point was the Devil May Cry, kind of like that reboot by Ninja Theory. I wasn't a big Devil May Cry fan, like at all throughout my like gaming life, and then you hear Ninja Theory is doing kind of like a reboot to it. I was like, yeah, I've never really been into Devil May Cry, but then I saw the gameplay, I saw the art style, I saw kind of like the attitude and stuff like that in that game, and I was like, man, I gotta have that like when it drops. So me being a gamer, I just want to see what the hell they're doing with these games. I don't know. Dark, what do you think about what Sony is announcing here? Is this really something revolutionary that we really haven't seen when it comes to an E3 conference? And is there anything there that has you excited, man?
Dude, I'm so excited for Sony's press conference.
You sound it.
No, man, come on, dude. Like 3 years in a freaking row, they're gonna do the same games.
Like what it is, man.
I already know what it's about. It's a Kojima freaking crazy mess. That's what it is, dude. That's what it's gonna be. Like, I mean, it's just not. I don't know. I'm not hyped for what Sony's gonna show, because they show the same stuff every single year. And then of course, it doesn't matter what Xbox shows, because guess what? It's just gonna be the Xbox has no games, exactly.
Same shit, different year.
Yeah, it's the same stuff every single year, and that's the problem. Like we're in a time where it's just like no matter what one company does, the other company's gonna win. So it's like it doesn't matter. I mean, they could
you sound like a negative Nancy.
Yeah, what happened?
But they could come out.
No doom and gloom. What's going on?
But that's the thing. They could come out with like, games that they could come out with like backwards compatibility for PlayStation, and PlayStation would win. Like it's just and that's the thing. Like they're showing off the same games this year that they showed off last year. And why? Like, show us something new. Show us something that
you'll be pleasantly surprised. You never.
I mean, they
know.
might. Yeah, there probably will be. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be some third party deals that they got going on. They're going to show off. There's probably going to be some other things. They'll probably show the Destiny 2 DLC on Sony's at their conference and stuff. They'll probably some more Maybe we'll see one or two, exclusives that are coming out for PlayStation. But
we're losing you, Dark.
I know, he was like so choppy. I'm like, is that him or me?
All right, I'll jump out and jump back in.
All right, no doubt. Snaps. All right, we have Sony coming out and saying that they are going to focus on 4 games at this year's E3. You're still a little bit newer to the kind of like the E3 whole aspect, the whole show thing. You've seen the last couple years.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, Xbox showed 42 games. It was just like wall to wall. They were just showing game after game after game. What do you think about Sony's approach here to go more in depth on these 4 games? I know they're games that PlayStation fans out there are really hyped about. Me with Spider-Man, I am overly hyped about that game. Do you think this is a good show for gamers out there from what they're saying?
Look at those numbers.
That's
how does it make you feel, Bot? How does it make you feel?
I was gonna say, I know exactly what Snaps feels like with CC&C. For people who don't know, Coffee Casuals and Consoles. Every Wednesday morning, and yes, I am the one that's usually hitting the Trump button throughout that show, so I now know how it feels.
Excuse me. So real quick, G-Man says, I'm sick and tired of the bullshit from gamers. I'm curious to know what bullshit he's talking about. I don't really care. I mean, I know their entire show, how long do they have on the floor? An hour and a half? It's not going to be all about 4 games. That's practically impossible. Like, if they spend that much time talking about 4 games, then I will give them a high five personally.
Just for actually pulling it off.
Yeah.
For them, so VR, they'll show the third-party deals that they have. They'll show FIFA. They'll show call it the new COD. So they'll have plenty of time. It'll be probably around an hour.
People keep focusing on the 4 games, the 4 exclusives, but there's other things planned for the show.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really care what they do with their show. I mean, I'm going to watch it when I have the opportunity to, because I'll be on a nice, lovely beach while E3 is going on. But honestly,
nice. Rub it in, lady. Just
I will rub it in. I am looking forward to a date for Death Stranding, because I don't really want to see any more of that quote unquote game.
We haven't even seen what the game really is.
It's very peculiar, and I just don't want any more. Hey, look at this, but you're not going to have a date to find out more about it. I actually want to.
I don't think they're going to show any dates at all.
Yeah, her expectations are much higher than mine. I'm just hoping for gameplay finally. Like not
gameplay,
just
like legitimate gameplay would be nice, and a date.
Nice.
Whatever happened to Deep Down?
I think you're stretching
game?
it a little bit.
That game Deep Down? Whatever happened to Deep Down? I don't know. Can anybody on the panel answer that?
I don't even remember that.
I can't. It just disappeared. Anybody know what's going on with Deep Down?
Maybe they'll bring it back. Oh,
there's a couple games that disappeared.
I'll investigate.
Talk about it. The Quantic Dreams game, or whatever, was being worked on. That one's not being talked about much anymore, and that was showing at PlayStation 4 launch. So, I mean, that sort of stuff, I mean, it happens. It's one of the reasons why I kind of like the fact that they're not showing things further out. I only get so excited for a CG trailer. Like, get one of those in my mind. I want to see gameplay next. And if you don't show me gameplay the next time I see that game, I don't care. And
you lose interest,
Yeah, so this is kind of the thing I've been saying for a while. We've been showing stuff way too far out. And now Sony's paying the price for it, right? So they're going to have to double down and focus on what they actually have, consolidate that time, put all the hype behind what they have shown, which is fine. Doesn't mean they don't have anything working down the road. That's a whole nother story, right?
Sean Murray's here.
Sean Murray.
But you guys get where I'm saying, like, on this, like, this is what I want Microsoft and Sony to do, is consolidate what's going to be more of the immediate. Only give us one CG trailer tops, second one gameplay, and the third one, just more in-depth gameplay ready for launch. I'm tired of things being shown so far out and it not being what they promised. Games change throughout the development cycle, and showing things too far out, I think it's more of a detriment in a modern day than anything else. So I'm glad Sony's doing this, and I'm glad Sony has time this year for their third parties. This opens that door where last year a lot of third party deals they had, we never saw any of that stuff on stage. And I think that's personally a shame.
Somebody said that they did that deliberately because the Xbox One X came out, and the fact that these multi-plats were running better and looking better on.
Yeah, I mean, but the cat's out of the bag now, right? So like, you got to show stuff now if you're paying the money for it, right? I mean, you have to do something.
Yeah, I think O Snaps and the Don are colluding behind closed doors right now.
Indeed, we are.
This is the most trolliest O Snaps I have seen.
I'm happy today. I'm happy I'm on next. I miss hanging out with you guys, and I probably won't be here for another 3 months, so I gotta soak it in when I have a chance. Speaking of, I won't be here for the next 3 months, most likely, unless I lose my job, or something like that. I'm not going to be able to talk much about my E3 hopes or anything like that in the future show, but I do hope that we get name changes on PlayStation, and I think that's going to be coming.
Why, do you want to change your name already on PSN?
Yeah, it's oh snap suckers. I can't have that.
Oh yeah, you did that like right before.
And then I changed everything. Now it's Oh Snap It's Mel, and nobody doesn't know who I am. But I think that would be really cool if they did that.
I still like
I think
Suckers, though.
There's opportunity for Sony to go big if they don't just focus on games with no dates and things like that. And crossplay would be epic. Just saying.
I got you.
Well, that's the thing with what Pred said. He said they'll probably have like a backup plan plus another third plan, you know. So I mean, it's just, you know, if they're gonna play out to see what Xbox does and then go on and be like, okay, well, we're gonna change our plan.
Xbox should force them to go first, just because.
I mean, that would be great, but
Xbox, no, we're gonna push ours back.
Snaps, you are a troll tonight. You know what that conversation brings up, and people are like, why doesn't Xbox let Sony go first and then they can change their show accordingly and all that good stuff? And it's like,
I don't think Xbox cares to change their show, honestly. I feel like they're confident in what they do regardless, you know, whether, you know, people like it or not. You're always going to have both sides where someone hates it, someone loves it. Mm-hmm. So they just do what they do.
Yeah. And you could tell, like, they enjoy going to the show and showing what they show off at the show. So
yeah, I don't know. I think it could be a little bit of both, where some enjoy with the added people, and I think that some don't like it because of the added people at E3. And so maybe Sony could be on that other side of it, to where they just want to get it in, show what they want to, and be more focused on PSX or you know, a Tokyo Game Show. You know what I'm saying? Well, I think they got the Paris show, and then they got PSX, and so I think PSX is more of their thing, because they get that big theater and people come and pay to be there. But so I
gotta say, Mega, I just to me. And I know there's been a lot of focus on, they're showing 4 games and that's it or whatever. But when you look at it all, you look at third party, you look at indie, they talk about games on PlayStation VR, PS4, and stuff like that. And like I added in that couple kind of like teaser trailers for stuff that's like beyond those 4 games. If you add that in yourself, I mean, to me that still sounds like a traditional E3 conference. I don't hear too many things.
Well, people want to see gameplay without textures on it, because that's where they're at.
Right.
I mean, come on, guys. Like,
wireframe. The same games for it'll be the last 4 years.
We knew this was the case when we saw Kojima, you know, release stuff like, okay, well, we're going to be getting a bunch of trailers for a while. Like, we knew this was going to happen. Like, and I don't say this to dog on the platform. I mean, these are the cards they dealt, right? So I think what Sony is doing is trying to set the expectations of their customers and say, hey, look, this is what we got, but we're going to double down, and you're going to see some real stuff on these games. And I think, you know, that's just treating I mean, if that's what you got, at least you're treating your customers fairly, in the sense of you're not pulling the wool over their eyes. You're just saying, hey, we got 4 and that's about it.
Anybody think there's a drought coming for them?
I do.
Well, yeah, they don't have enough studios not to have a drought, right? Like that, we've seen it before. It's not dogging on the brand. It's just if you have a bunch of games. They can
do second party, like do second party contracts, have third party developers doing exclusive games.
I think with all the stuff going on with Naughty Dog right now, there was another allegation here popped up yesterday, where that guy, where the guy said he was harassed by another guy from Naughty Dog, and he called out the guy's name, and so that's another bad situation. Plus, at the end of the day, though, they'll just get rid of the person and they'll move on.
Yeah,
and they'll
this is like the third thing that's going on.
But this has been going. I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, this has been going on. These allegations have been going on for a long time, and I don't know what the truth is to any of this stuff. So I'm not taking either side. I'm just saying, I've heard about this. As I said, you guys are just now hearing about it. I've been hearing about it for a lot longer than this. So, that's been the scuttlebutt. But they still get people hired there. They get people still working there. So, you know, I don't know what's really going on with that. But at the end of the day, if they have to get rid of somebody, they'll just get rid of somebody and they'll move on. I mean, I think, you know, core talent, I mean, it's great and all, but like they can be replaced, especially if they've been misbehaving. So, like, it's just, I think people put too much emphasis on that sort of stuff.
Now, Don, while we have a quick chance here, you got your gameplay going, and all I see is this big, like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like 8-wheeler going through like mud. What the hell are you playing, man? Like,
this game is brilliant. It's called Mud Runners.
Okay, what
You're crawling, not running.
Listen here. That's all you got to know. That's all you gotta know. Just watch.
Looks like my type of game, baby.
Wait, just wait for it. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty much
because
what
it's
King Mega
slow,
does for a
methodical.
living. This is what King Mega does for a living right here.
This is my type of.
I was born as Destiny.
Oh yeah, that's right. You were
CS
born.
trucks, yeah.
You were born in the mud.
Oh, mud. He called you a mud
I
baby.
mean, you have winches.
Fuck you, mud baby.
That's right.
Oh man, you crazy, man.
Cool, man.
Oh yeah, look at this. To see. Oh yeah, you see, you got stuck. That's bad.
Yeah, but look at how many wheels I got. It doesn't matter. I just keep.
No,
on.
you
I'm
get out there.
intrigued by this gameplay. Like,
Yes, it is.
She's just
He's like,
saying
you
that
can't
because it's
stop
not
watching.
my gameplay.
I'm like, you know what? I want to get stuck in mud. But what
Yeah,
else can
right.
you do?
Oh, you'll
We'll
see.
get our little Hyundai out there in the mud and
It is riveting. You don't even know how riveting this gameplay is.
I know you were saying how awesome this game was. So for Don to say a game is awesome, it's got to be pretty
I mean,
good.
Blades has been trying to get me to play this game for months. Yeah, I mean, this is what you guys have been waiting for.
Black Rider said, "Is it 4K enhanced?"
It is, and this is what it looks like enhanced. That's all I'm gonna say.
Wow.
I guess we could say the textures are muddy.
Yeah, you could say that. Yes.
I should have just played Uno.
Nice. Well, when it
Oh,
comes to
he's out of the mud.
okay,
Oh,
we're
man.
gonna do
Sorry, what?
commentary play by play now for the Don's gameplay for the rest of the show. No,
No,
we're
but
not.
I feel it's not going to match up, right? Because there's a little delay.
There's a delay.
That's- To speak back on the E3 stuff, I think if they do come out with just the 4 games and they do some third party stuff, I don't know. I don't know, man. I want to see more stuff, like, and then to also speak on like the dry spell. I don't think they're gonna have that. That's why they keep pushing out games every year. They kind of been saying
beginning of this generation.
I know I was around, but that's the thing. I don't think they're gonna have that anymore. They're not gonna try to do that, and that's why they keep pushing out these games into later dates. Like Days Gone was supposed to come out this year. It's coming out next year. Last of Us we don't even know when The Last of Us is coming out. It's probably not even going to come out next year. It's probably going to come out in 2020.
Hold on,
or
Dark.
something
Are
like
you
that.
trying to say that Sony is literally sitting on a finished game right now with Days Gone?
Sitting on finished games. I'm telling you right now, they are probably sitting on finished
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you
They're
exactly.
probably definitely.
I'll tell you exactly what's going on with Days Gone. Days Gone is expanded into a bigger game. It was originally going to be something of like a kind of almost like a Recore sort of level type game. It wasn't supposed to be a really big game. And they liked what was going on and then decided to double down on it. So that's the reason why it's the case. So the original
It got pushed out.
Yeah, that's why it got pushed out. So the original vision changed and evolved into something bigger in regards to that. So I'm not defending it. I'm not giving excuses. That's just this is what happened. And so, I mean, I think a lot of people want that AAA level, those bigger scope games. So I think it's a good thing, and I would wait for something like that, to be honest.
But that's the thing. If they come out with Days Gone within the same year as The Last of Us, don't you think that's kind of like too many type of zombie games within the year with
what
PlayStation?
I'm sick of zombie games, but it doesn't mean the world is, right? I mean, that's just how it is, right?
Very sick of zombie games. We don't have nearly enough zombie games.
Yeah.
Okay?
But
we
you're
need killer zombie clown games.
Oh my god. Kill. You guys have no idea. I would kill for like a really good zombie game, and having like
But do you think
several different options for zombie games is great.
But this thing is like, as long as they don't release it months apart from one another,
Yeah,
one part of the year, one part of the other, it doesn't matter, right?
I mean, I don't care.
But
What
that's the thing. I feel like that would be too much, especially if it's edition exclusive. Like you're having The Last of Us and Days Gone come out within the same year. Like, why would you?
You're botting again.
And you're botting again, sir.
Yeah.
He is earning that crown, the king of.
I was
botting
born in the bots.
But guess what, guys? With that being said, with Dark coming out and saying, well, that's just too much zombie and stuff like that, let's move into one of our kind of like juicier topics. And this generation, to me, all right, has been an absolute roller coaster. Ups and downs, left and rights. to me, it feels like the gamers out there, especially with social media now and being able to have a voice out there a lot more, have become super entitled to the point where, like Dark is saying, well, do we really need 2 zombie games on one platform in a year? When I remember, like, last generation, it was like, yeah, just give us more. Just give us more. Like, let's see how good they do it and stuff like that. Whereas this generation, it's more... gamers are being more analytical, and they feel like, well, no, now we need more single-player experiences on Xbox and stuff like that.
Excuse me, it's single-player adult-themed.
Oh, I'm sorry. So we can't have a single-player cartoon. We're not ready for that one yet, right? And that's people aren't
Super Lucky Scale.
Okay, all right. We already have
Acronym
one.
is SPAT.
People aren't clamoring for that, and the one thing I want to say about that single-player adult-themed is if you really feel that way, let your opinion be known. But a lot of people were flooding Twitter and stuff like that at a point in time where God of War was coming out. All right, where were you guys before this? Were you guys picking up Quantum Break? Were you guys playing any of the single player experiences that were on Xbox before that? And to me, that's a genuine question for people, But it just feels like this generation of gamers, it's about what have you done for me lately, and to the point where that slogan comes out that says Xbox has no games, which is completely bullshit in my opinion, because I have so many games on my hard drive right now. So I don't know, oh snaps, do you think that gamers this generation have become so entitled? It's just
a bunch of brats. Bunch of fucking brats.
Are you?
All you did is say, I want, including myself. But what?
Yeah. That's why I was asking you if you were putting yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Well. And then people get mad when they don't get what they want, but the company can only produce but so much, and they have to get licenses, and things have to be passed, and people have to check, and this, that, and the other. It's like, calm the fuck down for 5 minutes. Excuse my own French if there's any children in the chat.
Well, there is. I want to shout out Flying Spider, who is in the chat.
That's my homie.
He is an awesome Halo player. Dude, we had a lot of fun. I think it's about 2 weeks ago now, when we were playing Halo with him in the party. But it was a lot of fun. Huge shout out to Flying Spider. I don't know. Oh snaps! Does this kind of like new sense of entitlement, like how does it affect you now as a gamer? Is there anything like that?
Oh my god, yeah, I just roll my eyes at people now. Like before, being in a gaming community, we're all in a small gaming community compared to what is out there.
Yeah,
but now it gets to a point where it's like I just go on Twitter and I roll my eyes. Like I love talking to people and communicating with people, but it's got people arguing and fighting and calling each other names, and this has been like a year in the making, and it's getting worse and worse. And it's like, I don't even go on Twitter as much anymore, because like every time you go on there, someone's like, I want this, or arguing about that. And it's all over games, because people, like whether it's one platform or another, or, demanding stuff from Xbox executives. Like they're like, well, this person didn't answer me about this, or they didn't answer me about if we're getting this game. Like, do you expect them to answer everybody? You can't, and the company, they have things that they're not allowed to talk about. It's just, there's so much, it becomes overwhelming and frustrating, and I'm just like, shut up, just shut up, people.
There's points in time this generation that I kind of wish for, like certain things from the past, certain ideologies, certain, like when people just got excited that games were coming out. And now it just seems like everything is just scrutinized, and everybody gets so analytical. It's like, well, yeah, no, it's cool that State of Decay is coming out, but do we really need a zombie game? And what about our single player experience? Instead of just being happy that there's a game coming out that you might get into and that you might want to see more about. I don't know. This generation, man, I got to say, when it comes to social media and kind of like that entitlement, those are the two kind of like heavy weighted things that bring down like this generation of gaming, in my opinion. Do you agree, O-Snaps?
Absolutely. And I see a lot of other people agree in the chat too. So, I mean, it's interesting because all right, for example, we do CCC, and I try to keep it casual, try to keep it fun, and give light opinions, and sometimes we have a little bit of stronger opinions on stuff, but, we also have to be aware of what we're saying and how we're speaking to people, because we can't be hypocritical. Excuse me. But at the same time, it's like, if you hang around a lot of negative people, you're going to pick up those same ideas, so that's why I just kind of brush it off now, and I watch everybody else, and then I'll just kind of block it out. And I hate to say it, but sometimes I just mute people because I like them as a person. I like gaming with them, but I just get tired of all the negativity and the people demanding stuff. It's like, just be happy with what the hell you have. And I think it kind of expands beyond gaming. It's like, it could go, like, this conversation could go on forever. Because it's not just gaming, because in general in life, we all feel entitled, right? Mm-hmm. We're bratty customers. The customer's always right.
Which is
so when the customer feels
true,
like
by the way.
No, it's not. The customer's right, even when they're wrong. Like, if you work in a specific position, but like, even like, let's say Mikey Barra, he's got these bratty customers he has to deal with, but even at the end of the day, he's probably like, you fucking brat. Rolls his eyes.
I can see that.
Excuse me. I'm like dying today, but it's, everybody feels like they're entitled to things these days. I mean, maybe not everybody, but a majority of us do. And I think we need to stop feeling entitled and be grateful for the shit that we do have.
Yeah, and find that kind of like childish sense of excitement like that we kind of grew up with video games when we hear new games coming out.
Social media ruined the experience, I think. I mean, it made it better, but it also ruined it, because we have a platform where we can just voice our opinions and expect changes, which, sometimes we do get changes, but then when we get changes, we don't like those changes, it's just, it's a snowball effect of bullshit.
Definitely. And I'm definitely going to go in more in depth on the kind of like social media aspect after we go across the panel here. And I want to hear everybody's opinions on whether or not this generation is the generation of gamer entitlement. So let's go to K Mega. All right, K Mega, you are a passionate gamer. You have been gaming for a while. I'm not trying to call you old. I'm just saying you are experienced.
I'm a vet. You know what I'm saying? I'm a root gamer. So, I mean, you can call me old. I don't care. That don't bother me.
Now, this generation, man, we were excited for it at the beginning of this generation. And, me and you started talking on Facebook and stuff at the beginning of this generation. What do you think, man? Has this generation become the generation of entitlement? Of what have you done for me lately?
Absolutely.
And like, is this the way it's going to be moving forward, man?
Unfortunately, I believe so. It's just people nag about the dumbest shit, in my opinion. Like, I mean, I can remember, I've been gaming ever since the late 70s. You know what I'm saying? So it's on arcades. There were no Atari, back when I started gaming. So it's not like it's what I'm saying, for the games that you used to get back then, there was nobody to talk to say, hey, well, this game experience was bad. I want a refund. You played the game, even if it was broken or if it played perfect. And, not saying that was right, but that's
you
just.
got the most out of it, basically.
You got the most out of that. And on top of that, there wasn't a lot of, the games that we own now compared to what we had back in the days. We stretched the hell out of the games that we had. Then we only had 3 to 6 games. You know what I'm saying, per year, when you're a kid, and then when you, work on your own and start maybe buying a couple of games for yourself, you still don't have the amount of games that I have now. And that's why I'm like, why are you complaining about a company not having any games when I have more games than I've ever owned in my entire life? Mm-hmm. Just the fact of the whole EA situation, which Delilah made up a great point, because they were giving out numbers to saying that the Xbox sold 36 million consoles just a couple of years ago. And so then she was like, well, where's the other 6 million? And so, if it's only 30 million. But the thing of it is I don't turn on my Xbox and it's like, oh, man, damn, it only sold 30 million consoles, man. I don't know if I want to play on this box now, man. But my PlayStation sold 80. That's where I want a game at. That shit makes no sense to me. Like when people start bringing in analytics and numbers, and they start acting like they're accountants, or everybody's checking people's wallets and company stocks, and they don't have any stocks at all.
You see, so you're saying you don't check how many of your particular fridge sold in the public? You don't check how many of your particular dishwasher sold?
No.
Toaster, microwave?
No.
I look at reviews.
Don't do that?
When I buy something, I
look at reviews from the people, that give it a star on a product that I get. But when I'm talking about
what I'm trying to drill home is you don't quantify your purchase on all these other things in your day-to-day life that cost more than your game console, right? Based on how many it's sold out there in the public. Mm-hmm. You buy it based on the experience you're going to have with that particular product. I mean, that's why you buy whatever hardware you buy. It doesn't matter. It's graphics cards, game consoles, controllers. You buy it because you want to. There's something to be had by paying your money, and you want that particular thing. That's all it boils down to.
Right. And the one thing that makes this even more complicated to me is that a lot of people that have doing the most bitching, they only have one console. And then for the people that do have multiple consoles and they still bitch, it confuses me. Like, okay, Xbox don't have no games. Well, you got a PlayStation and a Nintendo and a PC. So why is it that you don't have a problem? I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. It's like, it's so outrageous now to the degree of how people take this now, and if they love these consoles like sports teams, which is fine, but you have to understand that this is, what I'm saying, these companies are trying to work for your dollar. But for hearing people to get so upset that a certain game hasn't came out, or if they play another game that's on a competitor's machine and they're like, well, why Xbox doesn't have that? That shit is crazy to me, Jack. Because when you bought a 360 or the original Xbox, you were playing what they gave you, and you enjoyed those games, and you would hope that they would bring those games back to the forefront. But why are you wanting a game that the competitor has?
Yo, check this out, K-Mega. Now check this out. Because there's people out there when it comes to God of War. People are like, well, where's Xbox's God of War? Now, when Xbox first started, they never thought that way. Like when they came out with Halo, what game were they competing against on the Sony platform? Nothing. There was nothing there, first-person shooter, that was like in the realm of Halo. So at the end of the day, you don't need to try to duplicate the success of another platform. You need to follow the direction that your platform is going and listen into the consumer feedback that way. But everybody who started talking about the single player, like I said, they started talking about it when that game came out on Sony's side. And it's all like, what have you done for me lately? I tried to ask people, well, did you play Quantum Break? Oh, I didn't play that trash. And it's like, well, that was a single
play that trash.
That was a single player game right there that you might have been able to get into. What happened to that childish excitement when it comes to this form of entertainment? Because that's all
the whole point of gaming. That's
the thing. More people look. This is the thing I think I brought up in the DMs on the DMs. I don't know if it was Next GRG or if it was BGST. I can't remember, but I said it seems to me that people are more worried about the status of the game than the actual game itself. You know what I'm saying? The gameplay, the fun factor. You know what I'm saying? Are you enjoying the game? People, people get turned on because God of War sold 3 million in 3 days. That shit is weird.
They get turned on.
Yeah, they do. They get turned on. Ooh, baby, God of War.
Come here, lady. Yo, God of War sold 3 million in 3 days.
What is he, a trash dude? What is wrong with you crazy motherfuckers? I really want to know, why are you that interested in the sales numbers when you're not getting any? You're paying money. You're not getting any damn thing. So it's crazy to me. But look, it is a sad time in gaming.
At the end of the day, the companies are winning regardless, and we're sitting here getting frustrated and mad at people over some stupid emotions about video games.
Right.
You know, it's gotta stop.
It does.
Thank you. Yo, Predator, man, what do you think about this generation? I know you've been gaming for a while as well. I think we're all kind of like seasoned vets out on here. Even Dark to a certain extent, but Predator, what do you think about this generation? Is this the gaming generation of entitlement, and is it a good or a bad thing, man?
It definitely is. I mean, I don't remember hearing half of the conversations about gaming prior to 2013. Like, it's escalated, you know. And with social media, that helps because everybody thinks they have a voice. They think that they, you know, well, you have a platform to have a voice.
And then similar voices come together and make groups, and before you know it, groups come together.
Starts picking sides and stuff like that, and you get what we have now, and this is getting worse and worse and worse each year. And it would be different if things were like pretty even, you know, like if it was, you know, 78 million versus 80 million sold, you know, but it's not. And because of that, you know, that big disparity between what was announced or presumed to be announced and what Xbox's numbers are, etc. People are going to side with one because it's the winning platform. Because you didn't hear this stuff in the 360 era, the beginning of it when Xbox.
I didn't. People said it was out. People said it was out there, but
Well, we didn't have social media like that back then, though, either. So
I mean, it was out there, but not to the same degree, right? People are getting a little more braver. Like certain things people wouldn't say back then because, well, they acted like adults.
People sure are braver these days.
They are.
I mean, like,
why do you have the Hangout listed in your YouTube chat in your description?
What?
That's probably why somebody jumped in our chat.
So if anybody wants to jump in, it's there. Go 2 seconds.
I don't know why that happened. Yo, hold on.
Fred, I'm sorry to cut you off. Let Xbox fix that up if he can. But real quick is, you know, the social media, I've noticed a lot of people, like, all they do, like when I go on Facebook, someone could post a picture of a dog, and then that dog will turn into an argument between two complete strangers. It is no different in the gaming, you know? And they could just not like the dog's hair, or someone thinks the dog's ugly, and it turns into this huge argument. And there's so much negativity put out there for what, you know? And the same shit goes on in the gaming atmosphere. It's so horrible. Like,
yeah, like everybody thinks they have a voice and they want to pick a side and they want to, you know, try to prove something they don't really need to prove. And one thing people tend to forget is that you have a choice. You have an option to not say anything at all. Like, you can just look at that tweet and just move the fuck along. But people don't do that. You know, like, I put out tweets before asking something simple. It might be about the PlayStation, it might be about Xbox or something like that. I'll ask a simple question, and it turns
and then it all goes to hell.
You know, and it turns into like, look what, you know, people are retweeting people's tweets and like taking snapshots and posting it on their
tweeting and
like, I mean, like, if you're gonna talk about me, at least add me to the fucking tweet. Don't, you know, like, at me on the shit, you know, so I can at least voice my opinion as well. But, you know, people don't do that. They do shit behind closed doors, back doors, and shit like that. And it's like, you know, people wouldn't say half the shit they say on Twitter if that person was in the room with them.
Oh, I would love for somebody to say some of the shit that they say to me.
Yo, you're K-Megan chime in real quick.
I would love it. I'm going to test my metal. I want to see if these still can work, because I swear to God, I'd bust somebody's ass.
Don't do that, man. Don't.
Yeah, that's how I feel. If I won't say something like that to someone sitting next to me or someone like at a bar pissing me off, I would not say that in a fucking tweet.
Absolutely. Like we did last night on GRG, we talked about a rumor from an article that was shown about Xbox that Microsoft could potentially buy Netflix. There was this Wall Street Journal guy that brought this up and saying that it will happen. It's a rumor. Nobody knows if it's true or not, but it was something just to talk about. You know, something not to talk about the same garbage that everybody else is talking about, and just to bring hate and disdain everywhere and doom and gloom. And there was a guy that posted something on Twitter, was like, these bitches, they got everything so messed up. I hate these stupid bitches. What? You calling women out their name, you calling grown-ass men out their name, and you don't know us. You've never seen us. You've never been around us. And that's how you feel because of an article that we were just bringing out as a topic? Like, that to me is like, I would like for that person to go ahead and just let me know how he feels in person. if he really wants to call me a bitch.
Now, before we really dive into the whole social media aspect, because that is a big part of it, this generation. This is the first generation in which, you know, Twitter and Facebook and everything like that was so big and big around like gaming communities, gaming industries and stuff like that. But before we do that, I do want to hear, you know, Dark on what he feels about this generation. So, Animus, does this feel like the generation of entitlement to you when it comes to gamers, especially console gamers?
Absolutely, man. I mean, there's people on Twitter or on YouTube who make videos and talk about people for the console that of their choice, the console that they like playing on. Who gives a shit about what console you're playing on? Like, no one cares. Like, no one really does care what you playing on. But you gotta dog on somebody because they're playing on Xbox. Like, why? Like, what does it matter to you what they're playing on? Like, why do you care that I'm playing Destiny 2 on Xbox? What? Well,
you didn't get that
what
strike. That one
point?
Strike at the Warmind.
I didn't get the one strike. Who cares? I don't care. I feel more comfortable playing on Xbox. Yeah, pretty much. That's how they act. They act like they're having a seizure.
You did a Trump bing bong bing moment right there, man.
And that's the thing. Like all I hear is like these gamers talking about, oh, well, you know, PlayStation's got this, PlayStation's got that. It's just like, I don't care. Like I have both consoles, so I don't really care. Like, yes, I play a lot of my games on Xbox, and that's because that's where I feel comfortable. That's where I like playing my games. Doesn't matter, like, you know, I like the controller. I like how it feels. I like, you know, the atmosphere. I like the people that play on Xbox.
Oh,
you know,
thank you.
There's just a lot of factors for me to go and play on Xbox over PlayStation. Like, PlayStation, that's where I play a lot of my single player, you know, experiences, because that's all they usually ever come out with their exclusives.
Ooh,
they never really have a multiplayer exclusive. I mean, they do. I mean, they had Killzone Shadowfall.
Yeah, we said the same one.
Who gives a shit? Who gave really two craps about freaking Shadowfall when Call of Duty came out?
I can't even give that.
No one gave a crap about Shadowfall, you know?
And that's great gameplay, by the way.
And that's
I forgot to edit the black screen part out of K Megas. So see, there we go. Look at that. There it is. Bam.
There it is. But you know, hey,
what'd you do? What'd you do?
Oh my God! Let me finish, damn it!
Let him finish his freaking thought. God damn it!
You said your gameplay is lacking.
The honor angry.
Oh,
damn it!
Oh, okay. All right. Go ahead.
You know, and that's the problem with our generation of console gamers. We want to complain about Xbox having 1 year where we don't get any exclusives at all, really, and then as soon as we do get exclusives, they're trash. You know, and it's like, okay, well, yeah, Sea of Thieves wasn't great for everybody, but you know, a couple of you guys on the panel like it. And it's a promising game. So, you know, you guys are going to go and play it. I don't care that you guys are playing it. I'm actually happy that you guys are playing it because you guys are enjoying something that you really enjoy and like play. Mm-hmm. You know, like State of Decay 2. Like, you guys aren't gonna hate on me because I'm playing State of Decay 2, and then I'm all like, oh yeah, you know, I'm just playing State of Decay 2, and you guys don't like it. Like, you're not gonna be like, oh, you like that trash game. You know, you're not gonna do that. Like, it's just we're so into our own little worlds now. Like all the PlayStation guys are like all in their little world and they're winning and they're like, oh yeah, you know, like we're winning, yay! You know, they look like a freaking,
what
you know,
are they winning though? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, it's like what are you guys really winning? Because you're out there, you're buying these games.
Yeah,
you're buying the consoles. You're buying all this stuff. You're not winning anything.
Well, it's kind of like iPhone. It's kind of like iPhone. Like, so many people line up to get a new iPhone, and iPhones like sell off the shelves. But when you look at it and you look at what they're doing with iPhone, like is it really like the best piece of hardware for a cell phone? I know there's people out there that will defend it like it's their football team, or if it's like their firstborn child or something like that. But
here's the thing. I love iPhone, but I'm not gonna sit there and be like dog on somebody because they like Samsung or they like.
I can't believe you like iPhone.
But
I like
iPhone
anymore.
because I've been with iPhone for a long time. I've been with iPhone for so many years that I don't want to switch over. Like I'm sure I would.
I can't even talk to you anymore. We're done here.
I probably would like the Galaxy or whatever, or the Google Pixel 2 or something like that. Like I kind of want one of those Google Pixel 2s because they look cool as shit. But I'm on iPhone, so like it doesn't really matter. Like I mean, it's not like I know Snaps is probably playing around, but like she doesn't really care that I have an iPhone. Like I mean, like honestly, like you don't really care that I have an iPhone.
I can't
like,
stand you.
That's the point. That's the point. Like who cares what we play on or what we do? Like who cares if we don't have any games over here on Xbox? Like this is where we like to play our multiplayer. This is where we like to play our games.
That's a false
Who
narrative,
cares?
though, man. The whole
I know it is false narrative, but I'm speaking in the terms of like what they're kind of saying. Who cares if we don't have
me
games?
like when they're like, "Yo, PlayStation, they're doing so many more exclusives and stuff like that," and I'm like, well. If you're not having fun, if you're not having fun with your Xbox, you own an Xbox, you're not having fun with it or whatnot.
Then trade it in.
Trade it in. Somebody else will buy it that'll have a better experience than you. You can use the money and either get the other console that you really want, or you can, if you already have that console, you can spend that money on all those games that you say that is over there. You know what I'm saying?
That's the thing. They're not gonna sell the Xbox because you know why? There's gonna be a game that's gonna come along that they're gonna want to play, and they're gonna be like, oh shit, I shouldn't have sold my Xbox.
Shouldn't have been a
dick. That's the thing, that there's gonna come games that we're gonna get that granted a lot of the games are on PC. The whole PC thing, PC Master Race. Yeah, I don't care about that. I don't give a crap about PC. Okay, I have a PC that can run, all these games that are coming out. But I prefer to play on a console because I like playing with a controller. I don't like playing with a mouse and keyboard. Yes, I know I can play with my controller on a PC, but I don't want to utilize my PC. I don't want to lose. Right, exactly. I don't want to lose, and I don't want to utilize my PC for that. I utilize my PC for other things like editing and things like that. I don't utilize my PC for gaming.
I would if I had one. Just saying.
I have always been a console gamer, and that's where I'm going to stay. I'm going to stay a console gamer. No matter what happens, even if Xbox dips out or whatever, which I don't think will happen. But, if they do dip out, yeah, of course I'm going to go play on a PlayStation because that's what I like to play. But I'm not going to sit there and say, oh, well, Xbox is trash. But that's where I like playing, like I don't care what you like playing on.
All right.
Like you can go and play on that.
Yeah,
but I'm gonna play.
Otter is unhinged right now, and
I'm sick, dude. It's because I'm sick and tired of people talking about the dumbest shit on Twitter.
This was the perfect
the dumbest stuff on
you mad,
Twitter,
bro?
Man.
You mad?
They go off on Twitter about the dumbest things, and it's like, dude, shut up, man.
Well, the Don thinks I'm gonna forget about him when asking about this generation,
and you should.
So yeah, I should. Right? Filthy developer.
You made the Otter angry, and he's gonna be angry at everybody on the panel.
Well, no, let's hear what Don has to say about this generation, because, like I said, he is a developer. So these are his potential customers when his game drops. And I gotta ask you, man, and this might be kind of like a touchy subject for you, because you're talking about a consumer base that is also out there on social media or whatnot, and I know you're also a truthful person. So what do you think about this generation, man? Is this the generation of gaming entitlement when it comes to the gamers out there?
I don't know. I think it's different than that. I think it's, to be frank with you, I think it's people want to be heard.
Okay.
And when they want to be heard, they take a side, even if it's right or wrong. They run with that narrative, and then they try to find everything they can to justify whatever stance or standpoint they actually have, right?
Mhm.
And they keep running with it. I look at this as a generation of a lot of misinformation, and a lot of people not really looking for more knowledge or a better understanding.
They're not even trying to, though. It's
No,
whatever narrative.
it's not. Yeah, exactly. So, and it's one of the reasons I got, Bot knows the history, and I've said this before. This is one of the reasons why I got sucked into doing YouTube with people is I realized soon after, I did a couple episodes of Next and we kicked everything off that there's this huge gap between developers, what they know and understand, and what they're doing, and what the consumers are doing. It's a chasm. It's huge. I can't express that enough. And the problem is, you guys are ruining your own fun. Is the way I always kind of look at it. You're doing it to yourselves, and like, gaming can be a lot more fun than this. Like, I always looked at gaming, even with earlier generation of console wars, it's amongst consumers, it's been more of, I enjoy a product, I'm going to share why I enjoy the product. It is now escalated to, I enjoy a product, and I cannot enjoy that product unless I dog on another product. And it's not how it works. In regards to that, like,
I enjoy this product, so fuck your product.
Exactly, and that's not healthy. That's not healthy behavior. Just to be upfront about it, it doesn't do anything. Honestly, it closes off conversations. You're like, okay, that guy's not being rational, or gal, or whatever, and they're going to be like, well, that can't be rational. I'm not going to even bother listening to it. Well, then that game never gets a chance, right?
Yeah, and
the one that you love.
That person who is spouting off kind of like irrationally, any good points that person makes, it gets instantly diluted because of, they're kind of like, well, I love my product, fuck your product. Even if they do make some valid points in the middle of that, it's immediately dissolved by that irrationality, man.
Then it escalates really quickly to personal attacks or name calling or anything like that. Like, that's, and I don't think that's healthy either, right? Because sometimes we can just agree to disagree. I mean, me and Bot,
I personally attack you, Don, all the time. By the way.
I look forward to it, actually. But I mean, me and you, our friendship started on something we don't agree on, right? And but we're still friends about it, and time will tell which one of us is right or wrong.
Well, it felt,
whatever.
Dude, I gotta say, with talking to you about things, and like you said, like our first conversation, we didn't necessarily agree, but it felt good to be able to talk to somebody, and it's like this on the rest of the panel as well, to talk to people and not immediately have a shutdown, but have a line of communication going back and forth where, I think it's going one way, you think it's going another, but yet at the end of the day, we can still come together, and that essence of playing games, just that childhood excitement and stuff like that, gets us to go in, be friends and play games as well, man.
Exactly, and there's a common glue. We all like games, like that. I think people always want to like have a fight in them, and I get that. Like, I get competitiveness. Like, I understand that's some things that makes games fun, right? And maybe that's the reason why certain people like to argue. Maybe it's because they find it fun to a certain degree, and I can't.
I have to admit, I have to agree. At first, when I joined this gaming community, it was fun, and it's not anymore. Not so much.
It's getting kind of old, right? Because it's the same arguments over and over.
But you guys also got to remember that text is taken out of context as well. There's a lot of things that people say
that's
that
a really good point.
Really isn't probably them not really saying mean things, but they're actually probably joking, but they don't really know how to joke.
It's not even that. Like, it's people are cherry picking their arguments, right? Then they put it in a text form that's short-sighted, right?
Right.
And they have a conversation with somebody they don't even know about something that they're very passionate about. Like, that's just a recipe for like disaster to a certain degree. Now, I think with social media, there's going to be a growing period, and we're in the middle of that. Actually, I have a more positive outlook.
We're in the growing pains.
Yeah, we really are.
Media.
We really are, because there's no etiquette for this stuff, right? So, like, it takes people setting good examples. It takes things like podcasts and stuff like that for people to be able to have a better understanding of things. But I mean, everything is always completely taken out of context. Like when people talk about the whole sales numbers things with the EA, I saw that. I'm like, okay, you're comparing two totally different things when you're taking what a company is trying to please shareholders of what they sold to stores to versus a publishing company that puts games on consoles. They're going to compare and be much more conservative on their numbers for what's in homes. Two totally different things. And then they do the math and they're like, see? And then they're like, well, they don't understand.
They'll aim low on how many consoles are out there to make it look like what was sold is that much.
It's justifying their argument and their stance, right?
Exactly.
Like and people also don't understand that EA is certain regions they just leave out because they don't make enough numbers there. And so the reason why they do that is they want to kind of under promise and over deliver for their shareholders. That's what they want to do, right?
It's business 101, man.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing across the board. And so that's what's happening. I can tell you right now, a lot of people do the water cooler talk amongst people that have worked at EA. They believe the console's at 42 million last holiday. Doesn't include now. That was before the X came out.
Right.
So and they don't even have the exact numbers because they're
Xbox One.
They're people much further down on the totem pole, and it's just it's that game of telephone across the board, even within the walls of a studio or a publishing company. So like there's certain people that do know they are privileged to that, but people are taking everything completely out of context to win the argument. They can't even be just happy with the fact that it's like, you know what, Sony has sold the most. Like regardless of how you want to look at that argument.
It's like the Wii U last gen, but I didn't hear all this doom and gloom last generation either.
Yeah, exactly. Or all we're going to get is shovelware going forward because the Wii was so successful. Like people just need to like slow down and just share what their experiences are. Have fun, in regards to that. Trying to dogpile. I mean, I just don't get that mentality. Like maybe because I come from a different perspective. I want all developers to be successful because I never know who I'm going to work with. And, you just kind of have a different perspective going into it because, I'm not trying to justify what's on my shelf. I already did that when I plopped down my money at the store. Right. So that's, I just come from a different perspective. Maybe.
Now check this out, guys, because we really got to end the show at 9 because I'm actually going to see Infinity War with OC.
I know.
About damn time.
Finally.
Yeah.
Oh, isn't that Bruce Willis movie with the kitchen glove that's bedazzled?
It's like,
I hate you, Don.
It's Bruce Willis
I hate
and
you
Grimace's love
so
child.
much.
Like it's his first starring role. But I do want to get in on the social media aspect of this. I know this is a very hot tub topic, as you can see.
Hot tub topic, guys.
Hot tub topic, but like we can go on. Like I said, we could have made an entire show about this.
You know what? Let's do that another day.
Another day. But I gotta ask, and we'll start with the Don because we kind of ended the Don when it came to the whole that generation speech. Now, this generation, social media has had a really integral part, with gamers being able to, gather communities, talk about games, talk about platforms and everything like that. And a lot of this has fueled what we see in terms of entitlement. So where do you see like the social media and gaming community going into the future? Do you see it at some point in time this changing and actually bringing gamers together in a bigger, a wider level than what's being shown right now?
I think what it's going to take is, because I can't carry this mantle.
It's going to take us, by myself. It's going
to take developers, I'm going to say.
Really?
Yeah, here's the reason why. Because they're not speaking up. Because every time they speak up, they stick their head out there, right? It's like they put their head on the chopping block. It affects their daily career. It affects all that sort of stuff. But the thing is, publishers need to get on board with developers being more open out there.
Can I pause you for a minute? Don't you think at the DICE conference, Xbox kind of started that a little bit, where they were like talking about?
I think they were talking about something else, more or less.
I think they're trying to unify everything because I just got an email also for what is it? Ambassadors. About names and things like that, and bullying on
Kind
the
of like
internet.
cleaning
Well,
up apps
I
and
think
stuff?
that's a separate thing. Like
It's a start to the
well, it's a start, but the problem is it's like, for example, you have an allergic reaction. So what are you going to do? You give some cortisone. Well, maybe you should figure out what they're allergic to, right?
Mhm.
And that's the way I kind of look at it. I think they're doing the cortisone. They're not. What we're not seeing in gaming is going to the root of the problem, trying to fix it. And the root of a lot of these arguments and a lot of these problems is developers are not outspoken enough. Now, they don't have to be jerks to their customers, and I don't want that. But I want developers to be more upfront, more of these conversations, more interactions with gamers in, I would say, in similar environments like Next Podcast and stuff like that. Because what it does is it gets people to understand, and it just doesn't happen overnight. But as long as you continue to have people understand what's really going on, then it allows gamers to have whatever the things they feel entitled to, right, or they want from developers, to be able to approach it from a different perspective and get what they honestly want. And that's what I'm kind of seeing here in regards to that. Like, when you make certain arguments, like, for example, Xbox doesn't got any single player games. Last time I checked, Halo has a single player campaign, and so does Gears. And we're just going to focus it because it has multiplayer. It doesn't count against them. They're offering everything. Yeah. So like we need it, like, and you try to have that conversation with somebody that's so convinced that they're trying to justify their position, you're not going to get anywhere with them, right? But when we have these open talks and when developers start speaking out, and they just have genuine talks with gamers are going to start to realize, oh, developers are willing to talk to people that are rational, right? And once that sort of thing happens, that changes the mood in the room as far as that goes. Nice. And so that's the way I kind of look at it. Yes, Xbox is doing things like to make people more exclusive in the development side, and that needs to happen too, because I think there's a lot of talent that's out there that believes they don't have anything to contribute in gaming, and that's actually the real problem. And they actually have a lot to contribute. They just need to work really hard. You need to have some fortitude and show us what you can do, because we all believe you can. You just need to be able to provide us some sort of thing that we can take those risks on those people. So I think the whole inclusive thing that I think what Xbox is doing is that. I think with trying to get gamers to set good precedents within what Mel was talking about. These are all good steps, but I think there's always going to be this gap unless the developers speak up.
Yo, that is very... Oh, go ahead, Osna.
I think that parents, they were slacking this, generation of kids, and they fucked up somewhere, and now there's a bunch of trolls on the internet, and it's one of those if I had known then what I know now situations. But people just need to remember to treat people how you want to be treated, not how you are treated. And stop trying to be cool on the internet.
Change starts with the individual first.
Yeah. I'm going to be nice to everybody no, I'm not. I can't.
Hey, wow.
You guys have no idea what I do with that word.
I thought this was going to be like a pivotal moment in her life. She's like, I'm going to be nice to every... No, I'm not.
Because I'm
you
just
don't have
lying
the
at that point.
for that.
I try. I treat people how I want to be treated until they piss me off, and then I'm like, you know what? If I piss somebody off,
I hate this job.
If I piss somebody off, I expect to be treated like crap. So yeah, I don't know where I'm going with that. I'm done.
That is good to know, Snaps. I will take mental note of that, and
I will punch you in your throat.
Yo, Predator.
Liam Neeson style.
I gotta ask, because time is winding down here. Yo, Predator, social media, you see what it has done this generation in terms of gaming communities. It has brought, a lot of people together. I will say that we are a part of a small gaming community on the grander aspect of things, but we've also seen the negative side. So I got to ask you, do you think that social media eventually, like moving forward, do you think it's going to turn and it's going to bring more people together at the end of the day than it is creating rifts and fanboy arguments, man?
No, I think it's going to stay the way it is. I mean, I know you see like Twitter and stuff like that trying to change their policies and stuff like that with bullying and just the content that people are putting out there. But I mean, as many people that are on Twitter and just any social media site you could think of, I mean, there's going to be one or 1,000 or 1,000,000 of those people out there, and they're going to continue to troll people. That's just what they enjoy doing. You know, you can block somebody and they can just create another account. So that's a tough thing to fight against when you.
It's really sad when someone has time like that.
Yeah, yeah. You know, like the fact that they do it. I mean, I don't have that kind of time in my life to troll people like that all day long, but it's just, you know, it's a sickness, I guess. It's like some people just can't get away from themselves. They want to be important and want to say something to somebody to piss them off and get them triggered and have them retaliate against them just so they can say, hey, look what I made you do. I mean, it's dumb.
It's childish, man. It's definitely childish. Like I talk about like the whole kind of like childish excitement, but instead of grabbing that childish excitement for games, we've all, like, it seems like a bunch of people out there on social media, they gravitate towards the childish arguments instead. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think, me personally, I think it's going to take like a group effort of not feeding those flames on social media. Like, I know there's a lot of YouTubers out there that say, you know, drama sells and stuff like that. But drama only sells because groups are going to the drama. When the groups stop going to the drama and start going into the more balanced gaming excitement type shows and stuff like that, that's when you're really going to see a change. Because now all of a sudden, that stage that those fanboys had that were spewing all of this kind of like crap, they don't have a stage anymore because more people are actually going to the more balanced gaming aspect of shows and Twitter sites and stuff like that, man.
True story.
All right. Well, K-Mega, what do you think about this, man? Social media do you think that, can you see a change moving forward into the next generation and even beyond that? Will social media eventually bring more gamers together than kind of like flaming these fanboy wars, man?
Not until the gaming media starts growing up themselves.
Facts.
Or they go out of business.
Right. It's, you know what I'm saying, either they'll become irrelevant or that they'll step their game up and be like they were, be adults and not feed into the console war for clicks. You know what I'm saying? Because money sells. You know what I'm saying? Bullshit talks, money, you know, money. Well, I don't know. Fuck, I'm tired.
Money
anyway,
talks,
so,
bullshit,
yeah,
bullshit,
thank you.
Clicks.
Yeah. So regardless, it's not going to change until that starts. Another thing that Don was talking about with the developers, they need to be more open. There's some that just don't want to give out a lot of things.
Man,
they hide, and I like the developers that actually come out and they, you know, tell a couple of crazy fans like, look, you know, I'm busting my ass here. You know what I'm saying? Look, you know what I'm saying? If you think you can do this job, you can go ahead and fucking apply. But
I also like it when the fact that, like, if someone does stick their neck out there and they do interact with you guys, like, you guys need to rally behind that person. You need to be totally honest with you. And it's not like a lot of people like to use the word damage control with things, right? But maybe take the time to listen to what that person has to say and try to hear him out in regards to that. And you can still agree to disagree with the gentleman or lady, but at least give them the time of day to understand where they're going with that and have a conversation, because they're obviously willing to say something.
Yeah, no, I mean, and it is true. And I think companies shouldn't handcuff, developers or studios if they want to come out and get this, because we're all into this together, man. I mean, this, regardless of whatever platform or console, whatever that you are into, if you game, you know, more than 2 or 3 times, I say twice a week. If you game more than that, then you're a gamer. It doesn't matter if you got a phone or whatever. And I think once we start getting to that aspect, yeah, we can still have the discussions about, you know, if Xbox is going to come with exclusives or, you know, the directions of what PlayStation or Nintendo is doing. I get that that's always going to be informative information, but with always trying to put down another company because you don't like that company is got to end. And then people beginning to hate behind it and
put down other gamers, right? Like, what's the point in that? Like,
Yeah, no, that's another thing. And then another thing, this is gonna sound crazy, but they got to start shutting down the negative YouTube spots. They just got to. They just got to start weeding them out. Like, now I'm not saying like everybody's got the right to say what they want to, but I'm saying like for if you out here knowing that you're you're selling your channel because of hate, and you got all these haters coming around going after everybody, then they should stop monetizing. They should stop. They should stop. You know what I'm saying? Let them earn
anybody who does that.
Yeah. So you know what I'm saying?
I think that's.
I'm telling you, that would nip this shit in the bud.
Hey, can you make it hear me out? Okay, this is adult conversation time, right? So
time's up.
But what I'm going to say is, how about you people just, if you're sick of it, support the channels that are not doing it, right?
Well, see, that's Don.
That's the root of the problem, because then they would get the income. That's what I'm saying. The other channels.
The power is in the hands of the consumer. The power is in the hands of the community. When the community stops navigating themselves over to drama and starts gravitating more towards the balanced and excitement and gaming aspects of Twitter, of Facebook, even of YouTube, that's when we're going to see a change, because now all of a sudden that drama isn't creating those clicks anymore. That drama isn't creating that wave on Twitter anymore, and it's more of what got us into gaming.
Well, and then you gotta have the gamers you gotta have the real gamers take over again. You can't have the fringe keep being the loudest voice in the community.
That's a great point as well, man.
Well, and that's the thing, though, and that's why I say we're in a growth period where, honestly, gamers don't know where to go now. Like, they really don't. They're like lost, right? And
we will help you guys.
They don't know where to find.
We will.
You don't know where to find certain news. They don't know like what's going on. Why is the channel used to be more neutral-ish, I should say, doesn't seem to be as neutral as it used to be. So like, and they don't seem to align with what they like in entertainment. So like, yeah, I mean, it's a growing period, like especially with the Wild Wild West of YouTube, where you have literally everyone can make a channel and have a voice, right? So, it's going to take time, and I honestly think those like fringe type situations that were, just kind of more of the scum portion of gaming, like
there's a lot of them.
But here's the thing: is like they have quick growth, and then they're going to peter out. That's the harsh reality, and that's what's going to eventually happen.
Why'd you completely capitalize my name in that?
I don't know. I was listening to John.
It's that time. It's 8:02 on my time, so
9:02 in my real time here.
Guys, I think this is a subject we will definitely.
We'll have to let Don finish his thought though, real quick.
No, I'm done.
Fine, shut up,
I'm
Don.
done. No,
we can have that discussion on the gamer, man.
Yeah, we definitely can.
Guys, and whenever you're doing that, let me know if you don't mind. I would love to be in on that. This is something I am really kind of like passionate about, because I want to see gaming go back to what made not to quote Trump or anything, but what made gaming great. All right, and there is
gaming great again.
All right, but there's so much negativity out there that it even overrides common sense when it comes to certain things. Right. Like when we're talking about EA and console numbers, like Don hit it right on the head with what that software company is trying to do to make their numbers look better than normal when it comes to their shareholders and stuff like that. But the hate out there is so real that people won't even listen to common sense and just say that
those two companies has two totally different agendas.
Damage controlling, that's what you're doing.
Anything, but I do want to quickly add though, like I've seen people just being excited over games and enjoying it, and then other people bashing it. So whether it's someone who I consider a friend or not, I just kind of back away from them slowly, because like that's what kind of deters me from it. When you're bashing people for being excited over stuff, you're part of the problem.
Well, I mean, why can't you root for a game for other people, right? Like I don't understand that. Like watching State of Decay right now, I have no interest in State of Decay. There's not a single part of that game I enjoyed, and I made it very, very clear. But I do hope that game goes well. I hope it finds its audience, and those people. Who's whispering?
Wow, you're distracting the Don. That's an accomplishment, right there.
But you guys get where I'm going with that, right? Like other people can enjoy that game, and that's the game for them. So why not give them more of a voice for something they enjoy? Like
that's like people telling me that I can't like playing Minecraft. What?
Well, but here's the thing: is like if you do that, what's going to happen? Those people are going to rally for you when you're really excited for something, right? So like,
I think I'm going to stream Minecraft this week. By the way,
Minecraft makes me puke, but it's so much fun. It really does.
All right.
I thought you were going to wrap this up.
Guys, on that note, like a 40-year-old with a comb over, we got to get those plugs in.
Don't stop.
This was an absolutely great show. We had up over 100 people watching tonight. In my opinion, it was an important show from those two aspects about, what this generation of gamers and being entitled, what that was all about and why. And then the whole social media aspect within the gaming community. I thought those were very important topics. And of course, the panel, man, they just knocked it out of the park. Thank you guys so much. We are going to let's start with Oh Snaps, because she was the surprise of the show. Oh Snaps, why don't you let people know where they can get a hold of you and pretty much what you're up to?
You guys can find me on Twitter at girlscangame22. Subscribe to me on YouTube. I stream twice a week usually, but my schedule is about to change. So follow me on Twitter to find out that. And we have this really cool podcast on Wednesday morning where we don't actually talk about anything, but we do drink lots of coffee and have a good time.
We are wired on Wednesdays. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's a shit show of fun. I love it.
Nice.
But yeah, I'm excited that I got to hang out with you guys today. So thanks for having me on the show.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun. Dark Optimus, I know we didn't get your whole social media, kind of like your full thoughts on that. You did really pepper that in when we were talking about the entitled, gaming generation or whatnot. But why don't you let people know where they can pick up that topic with you again on Twitter, where you are there, and what you're up to, man?
Well, first off, there needs to be a special thanks to K Mega and the Don for stealing the show, as always. No.
What did I do?
You guys can find me on Twitter at Dark Optimus. You can also find me on Xbox Live at the same name. And you can also find me on PSN at Unity Arrow. I'm just going to be here every Saturday, as much as I can, just being here and doing this show.
Nice.
No more Quest. Quest. Actually, I think Quest is completely done now. So just there won't be probably any more quests coming out anytime soon.
I got you, man. Well, when it comes down to what you're doing throughout the week and stuff like that, I think we should get together and stream Destiny 2 a little more for people and let people know that there is some fun in that game and not to hate on it so much. Yeah.
I think the most fun you're gonna have is with the people that you're playing with. That's the main thing about Destiny 2 is who you're playing with and the game itself too is also, of course,
exotic.
As your life coach, you need to play with those people.
That's enough Destiny talk for the night.
All right. Well, speaking of K Mega, we touched a couple topics tonight that are, you can tell the entire panel was really passionate about, and I feel like this isn't the last time we're gonna put our opinions out there about these matters. It doesn't seem like they're going away anytime soon. But why don't you let people know your kind of like your long list of shows, your Dead Sea Scrolls, man, unravel them out and let people know where they can get a hold of you.
It's getting a little shorter, man. Because I haven't been on the multiplayer here in a while. Matter of fact, there was no multiplayer.
You still throw it in there, man.
I'll throw it in there. You know what I'm saying? That was, Z gave me the opportunity to go there. So when I get the chance to hop on, I'll hop on. Mm-hmm. But I'm kind of like Mel, and just like kind of people, like you know what I'm saying, look, it was funny and it was fun, but you see that there's people that really comes on sometimes it's just too damn serious, and then it gets old real quick. Like Look, bro, I'm just trying to have fun, talk a little shit. I'm not caring about all this other, all this other trash you're going. But anyway, catch me on the multiplayer when you can. When I can get on. GRG podcast. Check us out every Friday. Really appreciate the support with that. BGST. Check us out when we do it on Sunday and Mondays. The Dev and the Gamer. Whenever we do that, and you know what I'm saying, and I've been talking about the sports podcast, but hopefully tomorrow we'll have everybody together and we'll get started.
Sports.
Sports.
Just to let you know, Mega, when it comes to sports, I told you Rockets like in 5. I told you that's
you're
what happened.
Way off. No,
I know the previous conference, man. Like they were going up against the Jazz. You said the Jazz were tough. I was like, the Jazz will only win one game. What happened? I predicted it right, man. Just let it be real. I predicted it right.
I'll give you your props if you're right, but you won't be. But anyway, and GRG Uncut, we will do another episode of that sometime next week. So Otter, you can come on with us, you know what I'm saying, and you know what I'm saying, and give your angry skills, I guess. I don't know.
Angry.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Hopefully,
I feel
might
like
be
royalty now.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right.
But other than that, man, thank you guys so much. Please.
My bad. Yo, Predator.
Yeah, damn.
Predator. Well, I want to see this movie, dude. Yo, Predator, man. Why don't you let people know where they can get a hold of you and share kind of like their opinions and stuff on gaming and what you've been up to as well, man?
Predator_HOS on YouTube, on Twitter, pretty much everywhere. I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. So I know you guys are trying to go to the movies. And who the hell is this dude Sage in our thing?
Sage is here, huh?
Yeah. Just hit me up there. Nothing going on podcast. I'll see you guys next Saturday.
Nice, brother. And Don, man, you have a new fan out there, a number one super fan out there, really promoting, kind of like the way you deliver gaming news and stuff like that.
Gamer.
Why don't you let people know where they can get a hold of you and get into that discussion as well, man?
Ejecto-Seeker. Somebody gave him that.
No, the best way to get a hold of me is follow me on Twitter, which is the Don_KTR. Let's wrap up with this show so Bob can watch the movie. But he has to put up the voting.
That's what I'm trying to do right now, man. My computer just went crazy.
So you guys can vote for Mud Runners if that's what you're into.
Oh man, I'll vote for one of you losers so I can go ahead and kick y'all's asses next week.
Hey, Kimmy, we're gonna do a little Halo 4.
Yeah, we can do. Yeah, we'll do Halo 4.
We have to pick up where we left off.
Hold on.
Yeah, we'll do that. And also, I bought Rage, so I'm gonna play it.
Here we go. I got
There's
the
a
voting. I'm typing
nice,
in.
dude.
No, on the PC.
Fred. I'm typing in.
I realize they vote for K-Mega because they don't want to see his gameplay footage.
Yo, right?
If that's how y'all think about it, is I mean that's
Xbot.
fine.
And hold on.
A vote for Fred is a vote for Nazi Germany.
Oh my God!
Wow! Wow, and guess what, guys?
Babies.
That is not cool.
Yeah, a vote for K-Mega is
cool.
indie
Guys, the
world
voting
hunger.
is
That's
up.
what it is.
Go to my Twitter page. It's Xbot448 and vote for who you thought had the best gameplay. But it is Saturday night. The gamers got a game. I gotta go see that Bruce Willis grimace-looking guy and his golden glove over there with Infinity War.
Vote for
About to go down.
Whoa.
You'll enjoy it
Later.
Yo,
Man, that's a straight up kitchen glove. I don't know what you're talking about.
guys. Like I say every Saturday at the end of the show, we will check you out next Saturday for the next podcast. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Later.
Good night, everyone.
Determination to conquer all my ambitions, despite all the conditions. In light of my past decisions, made it to this position, and so my disposition, not seeing no limits, killing the